Hello, 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 hello,
Hello.
hello. How is everyone doing today? We're going to talk about some interesting stuff, some history of the NFT landscape. How many people have been in this space since 2013? 2014? 2018? The last year? There we go. The last 6 months? So this is going to be a talk about more about the future. We've been in it for a long time. My name's Nate. I'm the co-founder of Mintbase, and this is Carolin Wend.
Hello, Carolin here.
And yeah, we're going to talk about how we deployed in 2018. We've seen the landscape go through its thing. In 2020, we basically stopped everything on Ethereum because we saw that its future had its demise. And you guys will probably see that too, but you will all tell us that we're crazy, and we'll meet you in another year and a half, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so has anyone heard of NEAR? Cool. Has anyone heard of sharding? WASM. So as a developer, these are really important things to understand. WASM means developers get to write whatever code they want, and putting that in the blockchain is kind of a big deal. Sharding is also incredibly important. It's what ETH 2.0 is going to supposedly give us at some point in time in the future. But we like to build and do things on things that are happening today, and that's why we went pretty full on into NEAR. So we're going to give out $140 worth of NEAR to some random people. So there you go. So you're going to fire up a wallet. Guys, the account system on NEAR is bananas. It's really remarkable. It's you're able to basically do 2FA authentication on the blockchain. So there's $150. You can scan it. You can get some neat stuff. You can get on. Yep, there you go. There you go. It's just when I go. Okay, so sharding, WASM. And so a big interesting thing to dive into later, and we'll go in a bit. But what we think is the future is not about everyone going to OpenSea. The future is more about niche markets, right? You guys controlling your own smart contracts, not just Super Rare or all these different companies running everything. You should be deploying your own contract, managing your own NFTs, and understanding what that is really the future. So what we're seeing right now is a lot of fewer companies, fewer markets, and a lot of minters. So the new shift is going to be in its world. But let's talk about our history a bit.
Yeah, so Mintbase was built in 2018. So Nate, he's a coder, as you might have heard, and he won the hackathon in 2018. Then we met in Berlin, and we thought, okay, like NFTs are great. It's this new technology, and we can directly tap into the settlement layer, which is why this technology is so interesting. So we first wanted to experiment with something that people really understand. So we did ticketing for this Metacartel Demo Day event during Berlin Blockchain Week, and it was on Ethereum. So we had like 200 people buying NFTs.
Do you guys know Metacartel? Yeah, Mintbase was the first DAO recipient of the Metacartel fund. So yeah, this is so we might even been the first like actual like privately held company that got a DAO recipient. So first we can go deep into that, but yep.
Yeah, but so we did this ticketing with them, and it was so fascinating to see what we can do, because what we see right now is we have Eventbrite, Ticketmaster, and you know when you buy a ticket there, it's like kind of their ticket because you cannot just sell it. But we saw during Metacartel Demo Day that people were auctioning off the NFTs on OpenSea and just doing what the heck they wanted with it. So we really saw like this NFT as a multiple purpose item and not just a single use item. And then we were super happy. We did NFT New York City ticketing in 2000, was it
2020?
Yeah, it's during COVID, or when COVID happened, exactly. And then the Ethereum gas fee became absolutely crazy, and what we really want to do is utility NFTs. We want everyone to use those NFTs for not only art, but ticketing and, you know, just like physical items. So we then looked at different chains and decided to rebuild Mintbase on NEAR, which was super hard because on Ethereum, we had the Graph and Open Zeppelin and all those infrastructure tools. And on Near, we didn't have it back then, right?
Didn't. That's the key word. They exist now.
And we built it. So we built an indexer and all those things, but maybe that's a little bit too technical.
It's important to note, everyone used their system the same as ours. So us in Rarible, at one point in time, we were out further. We had more users, we had more features, we had all the things more. There was definitely a moment in 2020 where we said, okay, let's just put our heads down and go into this world because we think this is the future. Everyone else went, oh, ETH layer 1 doesn't work, let's just copy it and go on Polygon, let's do XDAI, let's do Avalanche, and that should work. In my opinion, that's just a nice duct tape feature. When everyone else kind of, all of a sudden you see Polkadot pop out that says, hey, Solidity has its issues, so WASM is the future. This is when we're starting to talk about this new world. It's really, the writing is on the wall for developers, it's really not on the wall for a lot of other folks. But Solana is WASM. Polkadot, WASM. Cosmos is kind of having its issues because I don't think anyone wants to write in Go, and Near is WASM. So this means we get more choices on the code that we want to write. If we want to write assembly script or Rust or the next language later on, that's what's happened. So the first point was, so to deploy a contract for Metacartel Demo Day, that was around $2. When we did it for NFT NYC, it was like $80, and then when we decided to switch everything else, it was about $200 to deploy a store. Now it's over 2,000, 3,000, probably like 5,000 at this point. So not the future.
I mean, not for us, for what we believe in. But can you do the next slide?
Yep.
Yeah. So what is Mintbase? So we are a smart contract factory, and we are focused on people who want to create and build their own businesses. So as said, we believe it's not going to be Mintbase, OpenSea, or Rarible. We believe like creators will build their own niche marketplaces for different use cases, own ticketing, own music platforms, or whatever. So on Mintbase, a human, a DAO, a company, a nonprofit can have an account. And you're the owner of your smart contract, like we cannot do anything with it, it's yours. And when you create a smart contract on Mintbase, you can add your friends or other people onto your smart contract, and they will have access to your smart contract, meaning that they can mint NFTs. But you can set a certain logic. You can say, okay, if you want to sell on my smart contract, I take 10% of every NFT sold, or 20% or 50% or 1%. It's your smart contract, you decide how much you take. And then the special feature, and why our contracts are a little bit more diverse, is that on one single NFT, you can split the revenues between 25 people and the royalties. And this is a completely new paradigm in our world because it doesn't exist yet. If you think about the simple example of a ticket, Eventbrite. One ticket gets sold, and then Eventbrite gets the money, and then 2 weeks later, after the event, they send the money to the festival. But here, it's like directly, you can say, okay, I'm a festival, I sell tickets, and then maybe DJ, I don't know, Paul Kalkbrenner gets 5% of every ticket sold, and then the other DJ gets 10%, and then we have stakeholders in our event who push the event, meaning that they are part of the event. Completely different, doesn't exist yet. So this is the base of Mintbase, and super excited to actually see what new models will evolve. But we tested the system at Wilde Möhre, which is like a festival in Germany where we did like an NFT experiment.
Yeah. And one more note to this, we're going to get real weird with this business model. Like, if you can imagine this for ticketing, all the weird things you can do with fractionalizing funding. So even Mintbase, we're getting our new interface going. Still my design and the majority of my code is on there. We now have a team of 10 that's cranking and kicking butt. The new UI is going to be out next week or the week after. So as an incentive, I was like, okay, I'm going to mint an NFT ticket and list it for 750 Near, which at the time I think was $10,000, and now it's, I think, more than that. It's probably 15 grand. So all the employees now get a percentage of the royalties, and as soon as we switch the new UI over to the main Mintbase, I will buy that token, and everyone gets the funding. And if other people want also to get funding out, we can mint some more. Maybe Near is like motivated, the Near Foundation. Hey, I want these guys to like, get a little more excited, and maybe they'll buy the NFT when it gets out. So That's the beginning. So future, we think, is niche utility markets. We can already start to see that this is where everyone's heading. This whole liquidity mining, to me, is with the looks and super rare was like, Rarible definitely pioneered this sort of liquidity mining, which was the base engine for insane wash trading, right? So the writing's kind of on the wall now that we're not looking at the transactions as being all that more fascinating. We just saw Rarible just switch to no longer doing this, and now they're funding projects to build off of their ecosystem. And again, this is where I think this has been our direction the entire time. It's you guys deploy, if you're an entrepreneur, you deploy your own contract, you manage it, and we're here to build kind of the really difficult stuff to make your Web 2 developers kind of get going a lot quicker. Yeah, so we have a lot of stuff going on. I think there's, 1,070 deployed smart contracts is now on our system that we're managing. We have 3,500 minters. So you deploy your contract, you can add minters to that contract. The wider this gets, the better we're doing our job. Mintbase JS is our tool that people are actually downloading. Over 7,300 have been downloaded that people are actually building their own bits. Have you guys heard of Metaplex? Metaplex, no one? Have you guys heard of Solana? So basically us and Metaplex are kind of in the same world. We don't really think Solana's decentralization future is all that interesting, but we'll see. Okay, going back. Okay, here we go. So what are people doing? We have 1,070 smart contracts on our platform. Let's create the next Shopify for the decentralized world. Everyone talks about this, but what does that actually mean? So someone's come on to Mintbase, deployed their own store, minted some tokens. These are assets. We've done a lot of the hard work. I'm Gorilla. All of a sudden I go, cool, I don't want to have to go get customers. I can just all of a sudden make a really nice fancy front end, and we can automatically start taking on those 1,070 smart contracts that other people are doing. And so this is when the decentralized web's going to start. Like, it's, you guys built the hard stuff. We can do something unique on top of that. And when people say Legos, this is what we're talking about. They build something at the base. We all agree that, hey, this isn't going to change because the token, unless near collapses and Arweave explodes, we can start building off that because Gorilla shouldn't have any trust in Mintbase to basically exist. Like, they should, if they're going to build their whole company off of our system, they have to know, are you guys Gorilla? Oh, you got your hand up. So I hope that is awesome and makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, we also, why we picked Near as a blockchain is that it's super scalable. So if we want mass adoption in this world, then anyone should be able to afford to mint NFTs or buy NFTs. So last October, I think December, we minted 1 million NFTs with Deadmau5. How do you say his name? Deadmau5? Deadmau5, okay. With Deadmau5 and priced at $1 or $2, which is amazing because anyone could afford an NFT and it didn't cost a fortune to mint those things. Yeah. So that was really incredible. And also, like, we have this partnership with, and sorry, I'm butchering the name, I'm not Portuguese, so A Vida Portuguesa is like this company here in Portugal, and you can like buy like products there, like Portuguese stuff. And downstairs you can, by the way, check it out, how we deal with the redeeming process. So we are also,
people who just got those little things and loaded up, now you have money, go buy some Vida Portuguese stuff downstairs.
Yeah, you can buy like some sparrows, like some birds and some pens and other things. So anyway, so you can check out the process because that's utility NFT. So you can buy the NFT and you can redeem the NFT downstairs. And you will see how it works. But we have this redeeming possibility, which is safer than airline security, I would say. And just check it out. It's an interesting process and has been tested at festivals and other things. So if you go forward, like one slide, please. So we went to this festival and we realized, okay, people don't really care about NFTs that much. They, want to party and they are a little bit drunk. So we did this. Okay, how can we like approach festival guests? So we, first of all, we gave out beers, so people could like beer NFTs, so people could burn, so redeem those NFTs and then get a real beer. but we also like set up this canvas where people could go and draw, and we told them like, hey guys, you can draw and you can, but you have to open a Near wallet, and then after the festival, we tokenize this painting, and you will be in the split revenues to show like that you can tokenize an NFT, split the revenues, and we auction it off. So actually in October, we auctioned off this painting, and I think it was like $5,000 at that time, and all those people who participated in the painting instantly received those funds. So this is like a super nice thing, you know, to show people, hey, this is like splitting the revenue of one NFT, of one asset. It was super exciting, and it was a lot of fun on top of that. So we really like to experiment with different things because NFTs can just be everywhere. And yeah.
And going back to this, so when the hype cycle did its thing, and we've been around forever, and we were doing ticketing and redeeming with multiple wallets, doing the really hard stuff, when all of a sudden we see, you know, one NFT selling for $69 million and everyone minds exploding, like me as a technical person is like, that's the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life. The asset gets sold, numbers go down in one account and go up in another account. There's really nothing that fascinating about it. When you have this, you have literally 1 million NFTs being minted and created and sold for $1.99. This is, to me, this is much more mind expanding, and the things that we can start doing in this world. So Mintbase is hiring. This is my first conference I've ever gone to that I'm not looking for funding. It's very strange. Like I'm always in the hustle mode, but this time we're looking for people to join us. We're 99% all here in Lisbon. We built the company in Berlin, but now we're all here. But we're also hiring remote. Developer relations is super important for us. We're looking for front-end Rust developers, not Solidity, Rust.
And biz dev and marketing and community.
Yes.
And also Luis, the guy with the camera over there, for example, and Maria and Regina are also here. So if you want to ask them about like how Mintbase is, how it is to work there, just chat.
Let's take questions really quick. We got 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Yeah, right now it's just $2 from our market, but to be completely open and transparent, we don't know. So there's a time when you just need to not know this. Like this stuff is so new. If you guys saw Cargo NFT, they had their business model, they had their token, you know, you buy the token, you can mint things, and then, I don't know, it didn't work because all of a sudden gas prices went up and you can't go buy the token before you do stuff because you're paying an insane amount of money. It's not time to figure out the business model yet. Like right now, it's time to slowly know that this is the future, build the infrastructure around it, see how people use it, and then kind of grow from there. I mean, we're obviously onto something here because, I don't know, it's going to get real, I think it's getting crazy. This conference is blowing my mind. Oh yeah, so this is also the big announcement, but keep it here, we're not going to do a big Twitter thing. We also have a $5 million ecosystem grant for folks to build off of our platform. So we want folks that have a track record of building, that they've built something before. We want developers to be part of the founding team. We don't care about your token strategy right out the gate. We just want real usage NFTs being built. So it'll be paid in Near. And we'll have a whole onboarding flow in the next 2 weeks when the new UI comes out. One more question. Yeah, carbon neutral is the, do you want to go?
Carbon neutral, yeah. So Near is a carbon neutral blockchain. Obviously, like no technology is carbon neutral because it's a technology, it uses electricity, right? So first of all, it's a proof of stake chain, which is by its nature already more efficient than proof of work chains like Ethereum, Bitcoin. But they do carbon offsetting with a company called South Pole. South Pole is, they are like BMW, Lidl, Aldi, like all those bigger companies do this carbon offsetting. So yeah, that's how they are carbon neutral. But you can just Google it and then you find more info. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.